I was told it was an animated series called The Black Wolf Saga. Yeah, 10 episodes shot in Canada. And I thought, well, that sounds fun. We didn't know anything before that. My agent, when I got invited to London, she was told, this is Ubisoft. They kept it secret. For me, it's always been about defending the character. And he's just very ambitious. He has a plan. And back in that time period, it was tough. You needed to be ready to kill. And yeah, he wanted breeder, and yeah, he wanted to have more power, definitely. But why not? Uhtred cheats him with the killing of his kids. Hopefully the viewers understood how that must have felt for a human being to lose their kids. I knew at that point that I was going to be the lead of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So the thing about knowing that, okay, my character is dead now, but he's going directly to Valhalla made a whole lot of sense in my head.
Made sense. Yeah.
Because I've never done motion capture. So like, okay, this is what it is, and you want me to be this Viking hero, but you stripped me of my beard, of my armor, of everything, and now it's just pretend. Like, yeah, the other stuff helps.
Yeah.
But I'm not interested in watching movies with no humans in. I need the heart. I need the heart of a story, and there is no heart in AI. The most important thing to me is the relationships, the people that I work with. I want to make and tell good stories, but it's hard to tell a good story if you're not in good company. Make sure you don't sell your likeness. Don't let them own your likeness, so they can just create that afterwards.
Odin is with us!
How do you think when you go into the characters like this? What's your mindset when you take on such characters? Because you are also Danish, so you know about this tales and all. So what is your mindset when you do such Viking series and all, Vikings kind of series?
Well, obviously, I needed to be. There's a feeling of you want to be true to the material, because this is the history of my country. You know, this is sort of my heritage. But other than that, I remember going deep into the whole Norse mythology. I knew a lot about it beforehand, but dug deeper and found out which gods would be most interesting for my character in the Last Kingdom. So who to follow, and I went for Loki, because he's a deceiver of some sorts, especially in the beginning of the season. He's trying to connive his way into power. Yeah, so obviously I looked at religion, but also just how did they live back then? What would be normal things to do? What can I put into the script that's not already there? But when you jump into a show that's already going on for 2 seasons, then it's easier. They have made all the groundwork, so you have to fill in your part, obviously, but you always also just have to be there and trust it, because what they've done already is working. That's why we are shooting season 3 right now,
Yeah. So one thing I'd like to know, jumping back on Cnut's character, is when you were prepping for that character, what was that one thing that really helped you? Was it the atmosphere on the set? Was it something text or something, the material that you had? Or what was helping you out to go into that psyche of being a Cnut and, doing this messy stuff and, being that Dane and, being the part of the Last Kingdom? What helped you? What was that one thing?
I think one of the biggest things for me was that they believed in me. I got a lot of ideas when I got the part. I started doing the research. I had a lot of ideas, costume wise, looks wise, tattoos, how to build this character, and I sent all of that material to Molly Rowe, which was the costume designer, and to Kate Benson, who's the makeup artist of the show, and just said, this is my ideas. I don't know if you would like it or what your plans are. And when I then came down to Hungary, Budapest, where we shot it, they had taken account of all of my ideas. Like, oh yeah, we printed out all of this and this. We like that you went for that color for that, and your ideas with that to choose. We put that into the shield, and look. They had just listened and thought, hey, we can work this out together, because on a lot of production you will come and this is your suit, or this is how you look.
Yeah.
You might have, hey, what about, no, this is how we imagine the character, this is the armor, this is the, so having them trust my ideas helped me a lot. And then just trusting the script and my beautiful, wonderful, very, very talented co-actors on the show was really something. The first couple of episodes I remember leaning up against Tobias Santelman, who played young Ragnar, just because he was my cousin in the show, and he brought me into the story. How can just see what he's doing and work with that. And that, I think that was an inspiration.
One thing I heard from Harry McIntyre was also that the camaraderie between the cast of The Last Kingdom was very good. Like, they used to be with each other, party, and it was like a cricket sportsman's teams. You guys used to celebrate when the shoot was done, go out, do the weddings and all. I heard about that. I'd like to know more on how was the camaraderie part from your point of view. How was the cast, team, crew, the whole team game for you guys on the set?
I must say, being part of The Last Kingdom has been a very special experience, and also one that I haven't had in the same way since. Maybe it's because we all shoot in Budapest, so we're all away from our families. So you are sort of stuck there together, like on a summer camp. And so when you're shooting, say in London, if I go to London to shoot a show, all my fellow actors will go home to their families when the day is done, and I would then have to be at my hotel, But when you're in Budapest together, the whole crew is down there, all the cast, the directors, everybody's there, and everybody can get lonely. So everybody just looking for each other. Hey, what are you doing now? I remember we having a WhatsApp group and inviting all new cast, going, hey, we're going for some Indian food tonight. And so everybody would go down there and be invited, and everybody felt welcome from day one, which is special. So, and also the whole cast is bang on, very nice. And that helps a lot. So we have done some conventions afterwards for The Last Kingdom in Paris and in the US, and
you guys,
and every time, and also in England, and every time we see each other, we're just back. That is special. And I believe that because I was working mainly with the Danes, the Scandinavians in the show. And it was cool to be a huge group of Norwegians and Swedes and Danes just hanging around in beautiful Budapest and going to work, and then go out for beers and nice dinners and talking about the work, but also just hanging, being Scandies in Hungary.
So what was the emotional part of you on the last day of the set where you thought like, hey, this is the day and I got to leave? And you enjoyed the part. It's not something that you came here and just did your gig and just went home. It is something that you spent time, you built a family, you built a team, you relied on those guys, and you were like, hey, this is my crew, this is my people, these are my people. And now that was the last day and no more.
Yeah, that was a special day, because I've been working on and off on the show for more than 3 years. And so it's been a huge part of my working life, also because this was the first international job I've ever had. So I remember we were on these fields in Budapest. It was high summer, very, very warm, and still wearing all the furs and all the armor. And we were I had this huge camp. Cnut had this huge camp for the army, and we had shot my death and all of that. We shot that, I think, 2 weeks prior to that, in a huge battle week. And now we're shooting all the scenes that led up to that, which was actually quite good, because I had to be quite emotional in these scenes, finding out that I'd lost my kids, that Uhtred had killed them. So all of that, and then ending the whole show for me as well, made it very special. It was some of my favorite favorite scenes to shoot, and also the last scenes I ever shot on the show. And I remember when they shouted "cut" for the last time, and finally there was this when an actor's done on set, have had his last or her last, there will normally be maybe the director or some of the other people from the crew will say thank you to that person, and then everybody will stand and clap, and everybody did that, and everybody came up and hugged me, and I got flowers and gifts and all kinds of stuff. And also I got to keep my sword. They gave me my sword, which is a very special prop that I keep at home.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was a special day. Also, I knew at that point that I was going to be the lead of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So so the thing about knowing that, okay, my character is dead now, but he's going directly to Valhalla made a whole lot of sense in my head.
Sense. Yeah.
The Viking.
That was a complete journey. Yeah, the complete journey of a Viking needs. Then tell me one thing, you playing a Thane, you playing a Viking in the Last Kingdom versus in the video game, which is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The whole thing is different. You're not wearing the costumes. You don't have that heavy costume sword, the atmosphere, people looking like that. It was just a black costume, and you were completely in the different shape when it comes to the body type. And then the whole thing is like dots connected to you, and the whole thing will be a CGI and framing that. What difference you saw compared to actual set on the Last Kingdom, which is a television drama, versus a video game, which is a whole thing CGI?
Well, there's a way more pretending. Everything in acting is pretending, but it helps when you are actually sat on a real horse. You have 500 extras dressed like soldiers, and you have the costume, you have the weapons, you're outside, there's mountains, all of that. That helps your own imagination. And when they put the camera up to that, it looks like what it's supposed to be. Whereas when you do motion capture, performance capture, they will animate everything. So they have this idea, and you can maybe see it on a screen next to we shot all the Valhalla motion capture in this huge soundstage in Montreal, and I could, when you have that tight suit, the motion capture suit, and you get your helmet with cameras and all of that, you can when you move, you can see yourself on the screen. Like, oh, there's my character. I'm doing this. I'm doing a dance now. So you can see you're already animated somehow. Then they will put all the other stuff on, but and it will all be drafts when you're working on it, because they will be putting layers on layers on layers on top of layers on it. So it, in the end, looks like what you see in the game. But you get the idea, you get the feel of it. But you also just have to believe, like, okay, this is it now. I'm sitting on these boxes. That is my horse. I'm jumping over these sandbags. That is the river, or that is the roots of Yggdrasil. Or you just
it's
like
it. Acting workshop.
Yeah, it's like filming the rehearsal. Like, the real stuff will come in tomorrow. Let's just film it now, so we have an idea of it. Like that's how it feels.
Yeah.
And the first couple of days was weird. It was okay. This is because I'd never done motion capture. So like, okay, this is what it is, and you want me to be this Viking hero, but you strip me of my beard, of my armor, of everything, and now it's just pretend. Like, yes, but the other stuff helps.
Yeah.
But after 2 days, it just became so easy, because everything you want is possible. They will just animate that. Oh, you don't have to wait for the extras, the army to come. They'll animate that. We'll just have these 3 guys. We will multiply them, and they will do this, and then we'll shoot them again, and they will do that. And it's everything's so easy. And because there's 100 cameras in the roof, like filming, and you have them on the sides and down, and then you will have 3 or 4 Steadicam operators walking around and filming you as well. They will get everything from every angle at the same time, so you don't have to shoot the scenes as many times as you normally do when you're filming. You will have a big turnaround. Okay, we've started everything from this side. So wait, we'll have to change the lights. We'll have to do that, and we'll shoot the whole thing again from the other side. You will shoot the scene. You will have a day of rehearsals, and then you will shoot the scenes maybe 3 times, 4. Then they will have it all.
Yeah.
So that makes the process fast, and that's also nice, because you can sometimes be stuck in a scene, small scene, for a day, maybe 2 days. If there's a lot of technical things, or the fire needs to start here at that time, and that just takes hours, because all the people that needs to get that to work just takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I get it. I understand completely. The feel is different, but once you get used to it, you can see, okay, this is it, and it's much easier than having the crew and the small people who are involved. Very bigger team we need. Here, it's all sorted. It's a lot of money spent on the part of getting the things on camera and in animation, and that's where they spend more money rather than having the actual cast. So I guess this part, where one thing I read on Variety article about the making of this, that you were not aware that this was actual for Vikings Valhalla audition. It was something else. And I guess I saw the same clip on IGN. What was that story about? What were you pitched when you were auditioning for this game?
I was told it was an animated series called The Black Wolf Saga. Yeah, 10 episodes shot in Canada. And I thought, well, that sounds fun. I've never done animation like that before, but let's try that. So I sent a self-tape for the character, and they liked that and invited me to London. And when I got into the room in London, that was where they told me, so this is actually the next Assassin's Creed game. So we didn't know anything before that. My agent, when I got invited to London, she was told, this is Ubisoft, and we hadn't seen anything with that company on the first edition. So they kept it secret, but obviously they needed to have a lot of British and a lot of Scandinavian actors in the show for all the voices, but also for the main cast who had to do the motion capture.
So they knew you were filming for The Last Kingdom. You were playing such thing like Cnut and all. They knew your voice, or they had no idea of that.
They knew me.
Okay.
I think that's also why I got the audition.
God.
But they knew a lot of people. I think maybe every Scandinavian actor with an agent have been auditioned for this game.
Yeah.
So it's nice that the creators of Valhalla was fans of The Last Kingdom. They were inspired by the production, but also how the production did the history, did showed the Vikings, showed Alfred, showed all of Winchester and England at that time. So obviously that helped. And I remember coming into the room, and Darby McDevitt, who is the lead writing director of Valhalla, he said, "Oh, you're Cnut." They liked the show, which was nice. But from there on, I still needed to really give it my all, and auditioned for days. And what I found out is that they need to find actors that they like and that they feel are really good and can fulfill the part for all the motion capture. But the looks of how you look is not that important. When they have the audition tapes, when they have the self tapes, all of that, they will show it all to their partners, to their friends, to their colleagues, to the production, but without the image, just the sound, just the voice. So they will just listen to the auditions. So they don't fall in love with how a character or an actor looks and what she or he does, but just the voice. Is this voice telling the story that I need? Can I listen to this voice for more than 200 hours and not kill myself? If that works, then maybe this can be the lead. So that is very important, and thank God they thought that my voice was what they were looking for, because you never know.
That's something dream kind of event for you, where they had access to every, as you're saying, like every agency, every actor, and then you being part of doing auditions for a longer period. After that, they finalize you, because I guess your voice is something else. When we hear that voice as the character, also the male Eivor, it's beautiful to hear that, and you carry that part of that heritage, that history that you have as a Danish, so that's carried with you. What do you feel about your voice? What do you feel about your voice when you have such a blessed voice? How do you take care of it? Do you exercise? Is there anything that you follow as rituals? What do you do for the voice?
Well, how do you feel about your voice? It's always been part of me, you know. And so, but I do a lot of warm-ups every time I have to work, especially voiceovers. I will do 10 to 15 minutes of voice warm-up where I'll get through everything, find out, okay, this is working like this today. I'm a little hoarse here. How can I work around that? Just as if you're running a marathon, you have to warm up your legs. You have to get it all ready for that, because otherwise you'll get injured. And it's the same case with voice acting, especially for me. I can't talk about every other actors, but for me, it's exercising it, which is also making it stronger every day. So if you run half an hour every day, you'll be a really good runner. And it's the same if you do your exercises, if you warm up your voice, if you warm down your voice after a session, if you take care of it, if you drink a lot of tea and try to be healthy with it, and you don't go to every football match and shout, even though you would like to.
Yeah.
So obviously you just need to be reasonable, take care of it, and especially warm it up, because I did 4-hour sessions for Valhalla, and that would be 3 hours of mainly just normal lines of dialogue, and then the last hour we would do a lot of projections, a lot of war cry, all of that. Because if I did that in the beginning, that would make me hoarse, and then that would change my sound for the remainder of the session. So we did it that way.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. No problem. Okay. So one thing I'd like to know, there's one thing that's going on with the industry and industry is facing at the moment is the rise of artificial intelligence, where every industry has to deal with it. Every artist has to deal with it. Every individual has their own opinions. It's good for some people, for tech people. There is a lot advancement in last 3 years than in last a decade. So in this whole part, that led to digital likeness, which people are giving the voice licensing part. They're trying to build AI models and all. When such things are happening around you, and in your community of actors that you deal with regularly, and now these talks are going on, what do you feel personally, your opinion on the change in the tech world when it comes to the AI part?
I think we're on the threshold of something special right now. There's been a huge change in how things are done, and I think we need to be careful, but at the same time, we also need to embrace what's coming in a good way, because this is the future. It's right here. It's already working out quite well. You have loads of start out audiobooks. Audiobooks was so easy to have AI to create a suitable voice, and it's quite good. You have breathing in there. Well, very AI fake breathing, but you'll have that. It works. I'm not saying it's better, because it's not better than actual human beings doing it.
Yeah.
Because the AI do not understand. The AI only knows what's already been done. It's not original. It can't bring you an original thought. It will always have to be something that it has seen and or have gotten into its data,
Right.
then spit that out. So we really still need human beings. I'm not interested in watching movies with no humans in them. I love watching animations, but I want then the voices to be coming from us. Because that is I need the heart. I need the heart of a story, and there is no heart in AI. There might be all the love stories of that you can find on the internet, put into it, but it's just repeating stuff. It's just it hasn't got anything on a real storyteller. But it can help in script development. There's a lot of great places. And now we're just talking about our industry, because it can do tremendously good work in many industries, and it can help out finding. I saw this video where they talked about how it could help you find diseases and it can how
in science.
And so there's just this is a really good thing, but we really need to be careful, because we don't know enough about it, and it's just already taken over. So that's why we need to have regulations. So and we're already behind. We're already behind because when stuff's out there, it's already.
We need to catch up.
Yeah, we need to catch up, and I don't think we can.
Yeah.
But we need to do something. It's the same with just social media. Like, oh, this is a great idea. Yeah, maybe it's too much now. Maybe social media shouldn't be turning around politics. And maybe there's just a lot of things are in technology make us feel like, oh yes, this is a good idea. And then on the backside of it is, oh, we didn't know that would affect this, that, and that.
Yes.
So with this AI thing, we just need regulations, and I think the trust in ourselves and in that we are needed, because I could sit here be interviewed by AI.
That's true.
It write beautiful questions, and it could voice them as well, and there could also be a face that wasn't yours, and then I would sit here and have a dialogue with nobody.
That's true.
And I hope
it may happen soon.
I hope the future generation will figure out for themselves that it's not interesting to just have somebody, a voice like Siri, tell you stuff. That you need to have real interactions. You need to look the people you're talking to in their eyes. You need to feel what they feel. You need to respond to real human behavior. And I just hope that right now it's all, oh, we can get it all, and then at some point we will figure out, okay, we can that, but we don't need it all the time. It's not healthy for our kids to just watch YouTube or to just sit. And
true.
I need my time, so they can just watch the screen. I don't need that. The computer can read for them audiobooks. Yeah, I don't need to be the one in the room. But it's not good. In the end, it's not good. It's not good for them. They need, especially kids, they need human emotional reactions, and they need skin on skin. They need eyes. They need to be seen and to be heard by another human being, and not a parent who are looking at because it's so easy. I'm fully addicted to my phone because I work on it. I have my camera on it. I have all my friends on it. And I can get all the news. I can get everything is on there. All my apps is the same I have on my television. It's so easy for me to not be present when I have that in my pocket. So I always, if it's possible, leave it in my jacket or in a drawer. When we're having dinner, I'll never have it. When I'm talking to people, I'm trying not to have it in my pocket, because my focus will always be, but I can feel it in my pocket, which means it's so easy for me to leave and just look at I'll just look at Instagram. I'll just look at this and that, and every time, can you check the time? That's why I normally always would wear a watch, because then I can look at my arm going, this is what the time is. Because in the moment I have to check the time on my phone, I will also see, oh, there's notifications. Oh, my favorite podcast has just gotten a new episode. Oh, and suddenly I've used 10 minutes on my phone. And I was just supposed to look at the time. And I'm an adult. Kids, I can't handle it. Kids for sure can't handle it. And so we need regulations, and I know we're talking about AI, but this is all part of the same thing. You can have you can have ChatGPT help you write all your essays in school. We just had a thing going on in Denmark, some news about how they before the exams in high school that
the UCLAs?
No, in this was in Denmark, but
in Denmark,
how the but the first year of school they didn't have it, but it got there between first and second, and then how they're not even almost not even able to write the projects, the essays now, because they just get ChatGPT to help them not write it, but to give them all the answers to how to write and maybe suggestions, and then and I saw this two students just going, I've become a less good student, even though I had 2 more years in school, because I rely on that to help me. And it's good that there's a lot of help coming, but if you don't learn
Not.
If you don't learn stuff to give and then process it and put it out there, you have nothing. We will just have a. This is dire, but we'll in the end we can have a world where everybody only knows what
It's
the computer
clueless.
knows. Yeah, because I don't need to know it. I can just get somebody else to, like if you play video games and you get someone to level you up, so you're level 40 now, and then you start playing, and then you haven't played the game. Then do something else.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Read the book. Don't just get the resume. Use your imagination. Feel.
Yeah. Someone who is newly joining the gaming industry, video games, voice contacts and all. Is there any tip that you'd like to give to him when it comes to contract signing that he should be aware of such thing before he signs any contract?
Yeah, I would just say make sure always to read the contract yourself. Have your agency help you out, but make sure you don't sell your likeness or your voice, so they can just animate that. Obviously, if you want to do likeness in a game, it's fine. Remember to get a good pay for it, but it's fine. But don't let them own your likeness, so they can just create that afterwards without you. They can use your likeness when they making it with you in motion capture. Same with your voice. You can record my voice, and we can do that, but you can't take that recording and then create my voice and then just do it afterwards. Make sure that they don't own, because then they will just don't need you anymore.
Yeah, just eliminating that's the thing.
So
okay, that's a really powerful thing that you mentioned. Okay, let's have a rapid fire. Okay, so Cnut or Eivor, which you can only keep one.
I'll have to keep Cnut because he was my first, and that was very special. But I want to keep both.
Yeah, that's that. Okay, let's go for Cnut. Okay, sword fight or screen sword fight on screen or real jujutsu match.
Sword fight on screen, definitely.
God,
I like having weapons.
Oh, you got the sword with you. You got that as a compliment. Okay, your voice acting or physical acting, which drains you more?
I'm not sure, because it depends on the scenes I'm doing in if I'm screen acting, because some scenes are very tough, but they're also very rewarding because you are with other people. You are acting and reacting to other people, whereas when you do voiceovers, that can be quite lonely. You'll have a director, and that director might not even be in the room. It might be on a screen, and you'll have your sound engineers, but you will be reading, and it's just it can be a lonely trip, 4 hours in a black booth just saying lines. So it depends. It always depends on the story. If it's a good story, if it's well written, it doesn't drain you. If it's not as good, it's tougher.
This is going to be a tough one. Okay, I don't know if you remember this, but a most memorable line you've ever said on screen. Is it hard to remember?
Well, I guess that is not a question for me. That is a question for people who likes the work I do, because I don't know what they think is my most memorable line. Yeah, so that I'm not sure. I have favorite lines in my favorite line. My favorite line in Valhalla is Eivor in the beginning in Norway coming back to his hometown that is got
your voice acting,
down.
physical acting.
He lost his parents there, and he says something like home. Or this used to be home. Now it's nothing but bone. That is my favorite line from Valhalla.
Okay.
So, right. but that might not resonate with a lot of other people. But as an actor, you just find stuff that is my character, or
this is where you
can always drop in The Last Kingdom just before the fight with Uhtred. In season 4, I shout, "Fight me, fight me!" I've had a lot of people wanting that on me signing that on stuff. So so it depends.
Yeah, they want them on the ringtone or something like that. Maybe they're the stages on social media. Okay, live action Viking film. Would you direct or star?
Star, definitely.
Got
I am not good enough to direct a live action Viking film just yet.
Okay, dream collaboration. Any director, any genre?
Film or video game?
This is a film.
I would love to work with Peter Jackson just because I'm a huge fan of The Lord of the Rings, but also Quentin Tarantino. And if it was I would love to work with that Hideo Kojima for a video game. That would be wonderful. He's very inspiring. Kojima.
Okay. What scares you more, forgotten lines or faulty mocap tech?
Lines, because faulty mocap tech, that's not my problem. that's on them. If I don't have my shit together, if I can't remember my lines, that's on me.
Yeah.
That's me being unprofessional. But
Yeah.
I can they'll just have to bring me back the next day if they mess up the tech. It's not my responsibility. So yeah.
Yeah. That's okay. One word fans used to describe you that surprises you.
One word. I've heard a lot about I'm nothing like my characters, which is a nice thing.
I also say that.
Especially about like Cnut. I have a lot of fans saying,
Yeah.
but you're so kind and sweet.
Yeah.
Nothing like, and I'll take that as that my acting is all right. I remember one of the first. There's a comment that I got when the first season of The Last Kingdom came out that I've never forgotten. It was I can't remember exactly when it was, but it just said, "Love your acting, hate your character. Merry Christmas from Taiwan."
Oh.
So that's perfect. Like, love your acting, hate your character. So yeah, Merry Christmas from Taiwan.
That's a win-win for you.
Yeah, it meant that it worked. You just liked him, but you did it in a good way.
Yeah, it's something that you as a character hold a lot of power on the show, that when we see you, we hate you. We hate when you're on screen, the appearance, the way that you behave, the lines and the actions as a character that you do, that we have to hate you. And that's the mission of your character, that people have got to hate you when they watch.
Well, not necessarily. I never look at it. I never look at it like that. For me, it's always been about defending the character, and he's just very ambitious. He has a plan, and back in that time period, it was tough. You needed to be ready to kill. You needed to, if you wanted anything, you needed to be ready to go for it. And yeah, he wanted breeder, and yeah, he wanted to have more power, definitely. But why not? And in the end, he's cheated from his because Uhtred cheats him with the killing of his kids, and then hopefully hopefully the viewers understood how that must have felt for a human being to lose their kids. So it's more about making the audience understand the character than it is to make them hate the character. Yeah, but I did get some of the very, very popular characters killed off, such as young Ragnar, for example. And well, that's just what happens.
In Saxons, Vikings, and the whole Last Kingdom world, now in video games and all, what's the one thing that is with you when you went through all these experiences? What is that one thing that you carries out with you when you leave the set and when you carry on to the next projects?
I think it's the people, because the most important thing to me is the relationships, the people that I work with. I want to make and tell good stories, but I think it's hard to tell a good story if you're not in good company. So I always try to carry the people with me, and because you make some good connections on a set, just when you're doing theater, or if you're doing motion capture or whatever you do, you make some great connections because it's quite intense.
Yeah.
And I love creative people. They are very straightforward and very easy going, and that makes them really nice to be with. So I always take the people with me. And that is especially from the good productions. You will get a bad production here and there, or maybe not a bad production, but stuff goes wrong. But there will always be some nice people in the cast or crew, or that you will take with you.
Got it.